Hi there, looking today at this pen. This is a pen by Hardcore Hardware Australia, and yes indeed, as you can probably tell, it is a tactical pen. I'm not usually a fan of all things tactical, but I thought I'd spring for one of these. I'd been looking at it on the site and I thought, you know what, I could probably take that to work and hook that onto my shirt pocket and be a fairly durable sort of pen. In case, you know, the world ends or something, I'll have some sort of implement on me to defend myself. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on xtac.com.au and came for about $53 or something, including postage. So not a bad price for a tactical pen made by a fairly reputable company. What you get is you get an aluminium constructed pen. The dimensions are as follows. Rebar ruler once again. From tip to back it is 15.5 centimeters long, which is just on 6 inches. A very stiff steel pocket clip, which certainly will hold it onto a shirt pocket and not let go, be that good nor bad. It has a glass breaker tip on the end of the cap. It has a obviously writing nib, but also, and this is how you choose to run the pen at any given moment, you can choose to have the pen either tactical ready or writing ready. So if you want it tactical ready, you just screw the pen on the other side. There is O-rings in place, so at this point that's waterproof, that pen nib there. And then you've got this little tip here for, you know, more physical investigative work. Alrighty, so the pen comes in a little box and you just get the pen wrapped up in plastic and that's about it. You can check my Instagram to see the mail call that came yesterday. This is a pretty simple object, so I'm pretty happy to do a review straight away. I wrote with it a fair bit yesterday. Well, I wrote with it for a little bit yesterday and then I had to stop. While I was writing with it, just a few things I picked up. It's fairly back heavy, which I think is probably a tactical pen thing. It's made of aluminium, which isn't a heavy metal, but I think the clip adds a bit of weight, and just that heavy tip there adds a bit of weight as well. So it is fairly, you can feel it leaning against the part of your hand here. Your fingers fit fairly well on that nib. There's a little recess there that your fingertip sort of falls into, and then this edge of your other finger falls into as well. And so when you're writing, it does feel fairly comfortable. However, I wrote for about 20 minutes and then start to get these sorts of problems. Can you read what I've written there? This is a very, very temperamental ink. Works for a bit, then stops working. Works for a bit, then stops working. So I replaced it with this ink here. And this one just doesn't work at all. So I switched back to the temperamental one, which works some of the time. It's okay ink, but when it's actually on the paper, but there we go. Some of the, yeah. So I'd suggest if you're ordering one of these pens, I'm not sure what brand of ink that is. It mentions on the site Space Pen ink, but I know it's not because Space Pen ink says it all over it. And it has, you know, mail $6 to this address and we'll send you another one all over it. I think that's just pretty generic ink, so that was a bit disappointing that neither of them worked satisfactorily, which for a pen is a fairly important thing, surely. So overall, I don't know, would I recommend? I guess the pen itself seems fairly well constructed. The clip's tight, it's tight over a pocket, which I guess is a good thing, you're not going to lose the pen. is it a bit cumbersome having to switch from this to this when you don't want the pen nib free in your pocket? I mean, I guess if they're using these inks, you've got no worries about it leaking, do you? Because there's literally no ink in them. But then I guess keeping it like this, it's fine. But then to write, you have to unscrew and flip over, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess even as a defensive implement though, you probably don't even need that side. It's probably just fine like this. What do you reckon? What do you think of tactical pens in general? I don't think I'll get another one. I think I've sort of tried one. I sort of wanted to test one for the channel more than anything, and just to see if I like it. I'll probably use and carry this pen after I find some inks that aren't horrible. But yeah, I reckon one would just do me just fine. Another strange thing I found is that, and I think it's because you have to unscrew this lid on either side. To open the ink's sort of counterintuitive. It feels like it should be that way, but it's actually that way. And it opens up the inside there. So all the threads and stuff are cut well enough. I don't think this pen's made in Australia. I think Hardcore Hardware do order their things from China. So I'm not sure if they're Australian made anymore, but yeah, I reckon there's been a bit of discussion about that. You'd have to look into that further. But yeah, just overall pretty lukewarm really. It's not such a comfortable pen that I feel like I must have this work and I must go out and buy new inks for it. I'll probably just put this one back in and just carry a second pen in case it doesn't work, or I don't know. Or maybe I'll order some proper nice inks, like some good Pilot ink or something like that, and have a proper go of it. Because overall, I mean, it's got the right things that you want. It's got the knurling, and it's got the got the solid construction, and it's got the glass breaker, and it's got all the elements of I guess a tactical pen. So I guess you can't fault it for its composition. It's just, I guess they just need to choose better ink that doesn't do this. Because I mean, the chances of me getting two that barely work, one that doesn't work and one that barely works, they must speak for a wider problem, surely. But I don't know, maybe. I guess it's not very scientific, but just kind of how I feel. Alrighty, so that's the Hardcore Hardware Australia tactical pen. I'll put the actual model number in the description. Thanks for watching, dudes. Just a size comparison. Alright, what's a knife? This is next to a Swiss Army knife, so a bit on the longer side. Just a standard Victorinox. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.